This episode of Death Parade was the most dramatic, the most impactful, the most insightful episode we've seen to date, bar none. Holy hell. The events, Tatsumi got hardcore really fucking quick, man. And I'm sitting here like, And then Shima, at the end, he got massively hardcore. And the fact that the girl with the black hair directly interfered with DECIM's judgment. And not only that, completely took into question his very reasoning for existence. You can't judge people properly. You can't judge humans properly. That's the only reason why he exists. Bruh. Woo-wee. Now, first of all, the animation overall is pretty good. There was one part in particular where after you have Shimada get the puck in with, I think it was a heart that the puck symbol's on, and pretty much you have Tatsumi, he actually sees the event when he kills his wife's murderer. And then he gets up again, and he's like, it's okay, like, let's, play again. And because he knows now that Shima, he hasn't completed his revenge because it was more than one guy, according to what his sister said. So basically, we're going to play air hockey hardcore. And you have like slow motion scenes, like Michael Bay comes in, I'm like, what the fuck? It's pretty damn good. So overall animation, pretty damn good. When it comes to the pacing, it's slow overall because, again, this duo comprised of 2 episodes. However, it's not a bad thing in this case because, in all honesty, the depth of characterization was huge. It was huge. Story-wise, there can't really be any progression because more or less, it can be if we knew that there is an overall goal here, which I guess comes from Nona, which is trying to change DECIM's character, trying to change his perspective on humans to where he's not going to judge solely on bringing out the darkness in humans' hearts. And that's what we have the girl with the black hair pretty much state to him full on. And this is huge. So character. That's the main focus here. Character. Characterization. First of all, the girl with the black hair intervened in DECIM's judgment. DECIM, he's trying to sway Shimada to take it upon himself to quote-unquote kill Tatsumi, but not kill him, but just inflict massive amount of pain. And he can only judge based on that action. But the girl with the black hair comes in like, no, stop that shit. Like, this is not the way you judge people, alright? To simply judge a human being based on the darkness in their hearts, and then amplifying that via, crude actions and so on and so forth is not an appropriate way to actually judge a human being. And, because at the same time, because she doesn't, after everything's said and done, and Shimada actually, he actually breaks the pucks to inflict pain on Tatsumi, and then she's punching DECIM in the chest. A very good scene here was when you have her talking about how human beings, we're not as complex as you think we are. And to a certain extent, I believe she's actually right. To a certain extent. When it comes to things like emotions, yes, I believe what she's saying. And when you think about it, because we're primitive. We're only 1 or 2 chromosomes away from a chimpanzee. We're not that fucking advanced when it comes from that standpoint. And we still have a long way to go. But the fact of the matter was that she's listing the reality of the matter to DECIM. And DECIM, who earnestly believed that what he was doing was correct, based on what he was told by, I guess, Oculus and Nona and the other arbiters, well, flat out wrong, because at the end of the day, arbiters can't really understand humans unless they experience the same thing that humans have. Arbiters don't experience life in the same manner. Arbiters don't experience emotions in the same manner. Specifically because they're supposed to be judging humans based on their emotions. So if they have emotions, then they may be compromised, but at the same time, it does backfire in this sense because they can only judge based on actions at this point in time. And the fact that they have to exacerbate these actions tenfold because they can't perceive humans that well because they're designed. The arbiters are designed by, I guess, God in order to be they're supposed to be above them. But because they're above them, they can't judge them on their level. And it's amazing in that sense. So Decim's the reason why he exists to judge is put into severe question. And honestly, listen, from episode 1, I question the fact that this motherfucker right here could judge people to go to either reincarnation or the void. And I was like, wait, and you're only judging based on like a select few memories and then actions that bring out the so-called darkness that are exacerbated by you. Like, it's ridiculous. So she talks about that, and that was pretty cool. So props to her, because she gained huge leaps and bounds of character. And Decim, he's starting to shift. You can see it was very obvious the entire time. After he has the knife hanging there with the threads, and he has Tatsumi up there hanging there by the threads, and Tatsumi, he doesn't care because he knows that he's already dead. But here's the thing. Decim's holding his chest like something is amiss, as if like he's trying to find something, but he can't find it. He's lacking emotions. He's lacking sympathy. He's lacking empathy for humans, because he can't sympathize with them because he's not a human to begin with. He's designed to be on a higher tier, quote unquote, by God, who already left the fucking building, literally, apparently. Now, moving on, then we have Tatsumi and Shima. First of all, Shima, we don't know how he died, which was kind of weird, because normally we always find out. Normally find out, okay, well, he died in like a car accident, or he died because there was a bomb put by some fan, so, or the girl who slipped and hit her head. So, apparently we have no idea why Shima died, and he doesn't remember. But, it was hardcore, because first of all, he starts off, like, I gotta kill the guys who actually assaulted my sister. And he kills one of the guys. One of the guys who's actually being monitored by Tatsumi himself, the detective, who long ago actually killed his wife's murderer. And what he did was that he used it as a way to, keep track of creeps, of, sketchy dudes, which, to me, I'm like, you're a detective, you kind of need more than just sketchy dudes. Like, come on, what the fuck now? But either way, it led him to actually keep track of people who assaulted women, who were stalkers, and so on and so forth. And he was able to bring justice to a lot of bad guys in his mind. However, on the other side, it is Shimada who believes that Tatsumi's a bad guy, because Tatsumi was actually watching his sister get assaulted by the guy with the blonde hair. And when Shimada actually goes into the guy's house to, investigate, he winds up seeing the body of the guy with the blonde hair who assaulted Shimada's sister, and then he himself gets actually killed by Shimada. He gets stabbed in the back by Shimada. So Shimada not only, and when he realizes that, the only grievance he has, and it shows you just how, because once he actually killed his wife's murderer, there was a clear loss of a lot of emotion, and there was a clear loss of passion. Maybe in the sense of his job, or maybe in the sense of life. I'm not too sure. But he lost something, obviously. And when he tells Shimada, listen, you killed me, but did you really have to use the knife that already had the blood of that disgusting vile thing, meaning the guy with the blonde hair? And he's like, you could have grabbed another knife and killed me that way. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, oh, that was some hardcore shit. That was some, like, this guy was so, the fact that he knew that he was dead. Every person so far, shocked, stunned, disbelief, with the exception of Mayu, who, she's on a whole new plateau of, like, what the fuck. But this guy was so nonchalant, like, he did not care whatsoever. I was like, bruh. It was badass, but at the same time, it was also fairly scary. And then, well, once he finds out, Shimada, he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Because you didn't do shit to save my sister when you could have saved my sister. And my sister was talking about you. She knew that you were there and you could have helped her, but you didn't help her. And then he says, well, I can't help her because she's not a victim yet. I'm like, bro, what? Bro? Like, yeah, yo, like, that was a hardcore statement. Like, my job is to deliver justice. He's, in his mind, he's just like DECIM. And in a sense, it's kind of weird because arbiters are designed to be on a higher tier than humans. But in our sense, this guy who thinks he's like DECIM would actually, he lost a few, you know, he lost some of the sympathy and empathy that when he had a wife, he clearly had a certain degree of sympathy and empathy that he lost, in a sense, for his fellow humans. So in that sense, we'd actually consider it a downgrade. So the downgraded version of a human being is the supposed upgraded version of a human, the Arbiter. That's very fucking strange, but I like that correlation. And pretty much, it was the way Tatsumi took control. That fucking shocked me at the end of the episode. Tatsumi took complete and utter control of the situation at hand. Even the girl with the black hair was able to stop Shima from breaking all of the pucks. He comes in there, that's some naive shit. And I think the quote he said was, if you can't change the world, then you gotta change yourself. And I'm like, bro. And then he comes with a fucking knife, and like the initial hit, you can see the blood and Shima in the Tatsumi's mouth, and obviously he starts to smile, like, yeah, like, welcome to the dark side. I'm like, it was good. Oh, through and through, it was good. This, to me, I think, was an amazing episode of Death Parade. So I'm gonna leave it at that. King of Lightning. Make sure to rate the video, comment, and as always, subscribe. And I will see you guys and gals later. Have a nice one. And again, it's not that hard. Just click, rate the video. Thumbs up, thumbs down, what do you want to do?